Students, today we'll discuss about the electric field intensity due to a uniformly charged infinite plane sheet by Gauss's theorem. By using Gauss's theorem. So here this is one infinitely long plane charged sheet, uniformly charged sheet. So if you want to calculate the electric field intensity for this sheet, then the electric field intensity has few properties for this plane sheet. What are the properties? The electric field intensity at the both side of the plane sheet will be same. Suppose the electric field intensity at a distance 2 cm from the sheet along this side and 2 cm at this side, both electric field intensity will be same. So first is electric field intensity at both side of the plane sheet will be same. Next is this plane sheet will create an uniform electric field. The electric field will be uniform and the direction of the electric field intensity will be normal to the sheet, normally away from the sheet. Now here as we calculate the electric field intensity by using Gauss's theorem, so that's why on the sheet at first we take one Gaussian surface. How? Here we imagine one cylindrical surface where the cylindrical surface, that means this area of cross section of the cylindrical surface is A, and the cylinder pass through the sheet, that means normally to the sheet, that means the wall of the cylinder and the sheet both are mutually perpendicular to each other. So this is the Gaussian surface. The cylindrical surface is the Gaussian surface, here we assume. Now if we calculate the electric field intensity, so for that case, here this cylindrical surface has, this cylinder has three regions. One is this region, second this one, and third is the curved surface. So three regions at the two sides, this 1 and 2, and suppose this is the region 1, this is region 2, and this curved surface is region 3. So for this three region, if you take one small element ds, so here we take this blue colored portion, here this portion is ds, the small element, and here also the small element ds is taken, and on the curved surface also the small element ds is taken. So here if we apply the Gauss's theorem, if we apply Gauss's theorem, then we know that the Gauss's theorem means that is closed surface integration E dot ds is equal to q by epsilon naught. This is the Gauss's theorem we know. So here E dot ds, this we can write, that is E ds for region 1 plus E dot ds for region 2 plus E dot ds for region 3 is equal to q by epsilon naught. Because here the surface, the cylindrical surface has three regions, that's why this integration splits into three parts. One part is for region 1, this surface, another part is region 2 for this surface, and another part is region 3, that is for this curved surface. Now we know that the electric field intensity for the plane sheet always normally outward from the sheet. So if this is the small area element ds, the area vector of the ds is normally outward, and the electric field also along the same direction. So for this region 2 and for this region 1, we can say that E and DS, these are along the same direction. So we can say the angle between them is what? 0 degree. So for region 1 and region 2, the angle between E and DS is 0 degree. So after that, for region 1, we can write E dot ds means here we can write E ds cos 0 for region 1 plus for region 2 again E ds cos 0 plus for region 3 E ds cos 90. Okay, because for this region this is small element, so area factor will be along this direction, but the electric field intensity normal to the set, so this is the direction of electric field intensity, so the angle between them is what? 90 degree. So for region 1 and for region 2, the angle is 0, so E dot ds means E ds cos theta, that means E ds cos 0, E ds cos 0 and E ds cos 90, that is equal to at last this q by epsilon naught. So q by epsilon naught. So from here we can write, that is cos 0 means we know 1. So here you can write EDS plus here also EDS. Here cos 90 means what? 0. So that is 0 is equal to q by epsilon naught. After that, E ds for region 1 plus E ds for region 2 is equal to q by epsilon naught. So here if we integrate this small area element ds, then we get the total area A. Yes or no? Because this area A consists of several number of ds. So if we integrate the ds, that means at last we get the total area A. So integration of ds means we can write the total area A. So here we can write E, and for this we write A plus also here E, and here A is equal to q by epsilon naught. That means you can write 2EA is equal to q by epsilon naught. 2EA is equal to q by epsilon naught. After that, E is equal to q by this 2A here, 2A epsilon naught. Now if the surface charge density is equal to sigma. What is surface density? That means charge per unit area is sigma. So if for unit area charge is sigma, then for this area A, the charge will be what? Sigma into A. So we can write, therefore Q is equal to sigma into A, because for one area charge sigma. So for A area, because here we take the A portion, so here for the A portion charge is sigma into A. So at the place of Q we can put sigma into A. Therefore E is equal to, at the place of Q, sigma A by twice A epsilon naught. So this A and this A cancel, that is E is equal to sigma by twice epsilon naught. So this is the expression of electric field intensity for the uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. So I repeat once more. Here this is the plane sheet. Here we take one Gaussian surface, that is cylindrical surface of area of cross section A. So here also A portion is occupied in this cylinder. Now for this cylinder, if this is a Gaussian surface, so here we use the Gauss theorem. What is the Gauss theorem? E dot ds is equal to q by epsilon naught. So for this, here three region, for the cylinder there are three region. This one region, this is one region, and this curved surface of cylinder is another region. So on the three region we take three small portion, ds, ds and ds. So here this integration splits into three terms, 1, region 2, region 3, and that is equal to q by epsilon naught. So for region 1, E and ds both are along the same direction, because we at first we discussed that is electric field intensity for the plane sheet is normally outward from the sheet, and the area vector also normally outward. So that is along the same direction. E and ds both are along the same direction for region 1 and 2, but for the region 3, this ds and this electric field intensity are mutually perpendicular to each other. So here if we put, that is for this region 1 eds cos 0, region 2 eds cos 0, region 3 eds cos 90, eds cos 90. So here eds cos 0 means 1, that is eds, here eds, and here cos 90, here cos 90 means 0, so total term is 0 is equal to q by epsilon naught. So after that, here for region 1 E ds, E integration ds is equal to q by epsilon naught. So here ds is the small portion on this area A, that means we integrate the ds, that means we will get the total area A. That's why at the integration of ds, here we put the result A, here also A, that is q by epsilon naught. So Ea is 2Ea is equal to q by epsilon naught. So E is equal to this 2A is at this side, this one. Now if the surface charge density is sigma, so we can write q is equal to sigma A. So sigma is the charge per unit area. So for the area A, what is the charge? Sigma A. So at the place of q, we put sigma A, then we cancel this A, we get E is equal to sigma by twice epsilon naught. So this is the total things.